Alright, so we're back, and Cameron's talking about a hole he can fit in.
Yeah, basically, there was a locked room in my school where I kept a Nintendo, and a lot of teachers knew about it but didn't do anything because they liked playing my Nintendo when no one was around. Basically, I had a way to get into that room by squeezing through a tiny window when all the teachers thought it was locked. So that was pretty sweet.
You know, the downside of being fucking huge is I can't fit in crawl spaces.
Yeah.
I don't get secret little holes like that.
Ground break! Ground break!
I mean, the only way I can keep a secret hole is if I put a big rock on top of it.
I suppose that would work.
Yeah. Just fucking hide it like Shrek. Just like, yeah, I threw a rock at him. It was a big rock!
That wasn't Shrek, that was
I know who it was.
Killer Croc.
Yeah.
From the Batman animated series, but then it turned out to be Batman in disguise.
Yeah. It's a very confusing
in like the greatest twist ever.
Yeah.
They're talking about ways that they almost got Batman, and then turns out Batman's there.
The whole time. I still have the gif of after he said I threw a rock at him and all the villains are just looking unimpressed.
Yep.
It's a good gif.
And Dragoon nukes. That stopped him right in his fucking tracks.
Technically her.
Her fucking tracks.
Yeah. She was one of the clone new types. Shits went wrong.
Whatever, person's dead now.
Yep.
There is a dead human being, and that's all that matters.
Actually, the funny thing is, people debated it.
Oh, because she's a new type?
Because she was a cyber new type. A clone cyber new type.
I don't know, man. I subscribe to the theory of transhumanism, where so long as you have a human consciousness, you're a human.
Yeah, I'm willing to give rights to anything that can pass a Turing test. Or you know what? That's the thing. You can build a robot to pass the Turing test. I'm willing to give consciousness to anything that legitimately can express an I statement.
Oh, man. Speaking of I statements, I really want to go to a Turing test at some point. Because there's actually a thing where in order for the Turing test to work, they put in a lot of humans too, right?
Yeah.
And there's always 2 awards given. One is for the most human robot, which is the computer that passed the Turing test the most frequently. But they give out a second award for most robotic human, for the human who failed the Turing test most consistently. And I legitimately think I can win that.
Or lose that. It's hard to tell.
I don't know. You could
score
that either way.
Yeah. Is that the best loser award, or is it the worst winner? Hit him with the sword.
Yeah, he's close to death.
Well, kinda. You can ground break him. There he goes.
That wasn't a ground break, that was a special.
Yeah, well, it worked.
He's still dead.
Yeah. I don't think he can really tell the difference, considering he's dead and all.
Also, the Mecha Cannon deals almost identical damage to the Dober Gun, which I suppose, like, the difference between the Tallgeese and the Tallgeese 3 isn't significant.
No.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
You'll find that the difference between X and Y doesn't tend to be significant unless they're both predetermined with the word Gundam. The Gundam Mark 1 and Mark 2, sizable jump. GM1 to GM2, inconsequential, it'll die in droves.
Yep.
Zaku 1 to Zaku 2, a technically significant marvel considering one was the first mass-produced mobile suit and the other was the second most. But, for the purposes of the show, dies in droves.
Yep. Oh man, actually
I don't think the Zaku 1 has ever shown dying in droves, mostly because it became obsolete before full-fledged war.
Actually, the story of the Tallgeese I think is really interesting. Where basically Gundams were invented first, and then they had to make a cheaper mobile suit, which became the Leo in the Gundam Wing universe. But their first attempt at it was the Tallgeese, which was almost as powerful as a Gundam, but not quite there, and not quite as expensive. And then they're like, no, we said scale it down a lot.
Keep going cheaper.
Yeah, so basically there was one Tallgeese that got stored in a facility somewhere, and never got used until one of the main characters dug it out.
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, that'll happen a lot. I mean, that's what happened with the Hayushiki, where they're just like, yeah, we made this super sick machine back in the 1 year war. It's got beam-resistant coating, it can't even shoot it with lasers. And
Never
like,
gets used, though.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, that's great. Can't use it, though. Why? If it blows up, our military budget's kaput. We're pretty much just keeping it around so that if ever we go bankrupt, we can always sell it and have, like, a pocket change. And then Char steals it, and he's like, ah, this is mine. Then he mixes it in with the Gundam Mark II, and he has the fucking, at least my favorite Zeta Gundam.
Oh, man.
Because the Hayushiki's a technical Gundam.
I remember reading this one story where it was about these guys in World War II. They were a tank team. And basically their tank was, for some reason, always faster than all the other tanks of their type. And they just attributed it to, like, hey, maybe...
Good maintenance?
Yeah, good maintenance. But later in the war, during a major action as Germany was finally being invaded from the east, or from the west, they got hit by some anti-aircraft rounds. Because that's all the Germans had to fire at them at the time. And these anti-aircraft rounds didn't explode like anti-aircraft rounds are wont to do.
Yeah.
Instead, they embedded themselves in the hull. And they're like, well, how the fuck did that happen? These things are supposed to explode at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
And so they go to, like, the technical officer or quartermaster or whatever the fuck it is, and are like, so what's the deal with our tank? So then the guy runs the tank's registration number. Turns out it was a practice tank, and instead of having, like, reactive tank armor, it just had regular-ass steel. And they'd gone through the entire war in an unarmored steel box.
That's lucky as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, not lucky to have that tank. Lucky that it wasn't the rolling coffin it clearly should have been.
Right. Basically they were told, go back and get a new tank.
Yeah.
And the tank commander was about to do that. And then their team was like, no, what the fuck are you doing? This is our lucky tank. So they're like, fine, whatever, we'll keep the stupid fucking training tank. And they did, and all of them lived through the war.
I was really hoping this story would end with, it's our lucky tank, and then they died in their next deployment.
That would have been a funny ending too. But...
Yeah, like the second you're aware, it's like the cliffs in Looney Tunes. It only matters and once you're aware that it's there.
Yep. But yeah, they made it through the entirety of World War II in a steel box on wheels.
Yep.
And that's why they were always faster than all the other tanks, because they had no fucking armor.
Which, as it turned out, wasn't even a detriment.
Oh no, if they had ever taken a direct hit from, like, an anti-tank round, they would have all died.
If they had ever taken a hit from a real gun, but then they only got hit by anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah, yeah.
It only took no damage because they were using a steel box.
Yeah, they snuck up on something that turned out to be an anti-aircraft technical, which is basically just a fancy word of saying an armored-up Jeep with an anti-aircraft round on the back. And they didn't die, because flat guns don't do shit against anything that's not aluminum.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Depends, though, because if you get an autocannon, then you got something.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not cost-effective to use an autocannon as anti-aircraft. You use them as anti-tank.
You have to use it now, but...
Well, yeah, now, but I mean, back in World War II, planes
tank
were
guns,
aluminum
yeah.
and canvas.
Yeah. Good times. Back in those days, fighter pilots were nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Unsurprising that the concept of TIE fighters is based off the fact that World War II was a death trap.
Yep. It was actually a thing where there was like a 1 in 4 death rate for RAF pilots.
And the ones who didn't die were super proud of that.
Yeah, which is fucked.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, only 1 in 4 of us survived. Wow, you're really taking this lackadaisically. Considering that you were pretty much nonchalantly put in a flying coffin.
Yeah, during the German Blitz, the death rate was incredibly high.
Yeah. I believe, yeah, I mean, fuck. Remember that time Germany accidentally bombed London?
Wait, accidentally?
Yeah, they were trying to go for some weapons factories.
and they hit London by mistake.
Yeah, because they got lost. And they just saw lights.
And they figured, why not?
Yeah.
Like, while we're here?
Yeah. No, they were just like, fuck, it should be in this area. Oh, there's some lights. Drop the bombs!
And that's what started the bombing runs on England, I believe, right?
Yeah. The bombing runs on England are a mistake because even the Germans are like, we're not gonna blow up fucking cities, that's barbaric. And then they were like, oh shit, we accidentally just took the top off the bottle.
It was like,
And then England revenge bombed Germany.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I have those super rare trains, because the factory that used to make the trains got revenge bombed.
Because Winston Churchill got super mad.
Yeah.
The words, and then Winston Churchill got super mad, always leads to bad things.
Dead End Impact got unlocked. Super Dragoon!
Got unlocked.
Yep. No. Dead End Impact usage got unlocked, so now I don't have to use a two-handed sword.
Oh, okay. No, go up to Super Dragoon.
Super Dragoon is
Oh,
a new
yeah,
thing.
you still need it, yeah.
And full open attack just got better by the look of it.
Yep.
Alright, keep.
Ooh.
Keep.
Awaken the weeb within you.
I'm not using it.
Nah, but I mean, you might as well. Oh, man, what was it?
Everything else is trash. Induce stagger.
But yeah, World War II was
Stagger.
fucked.
Yeah, World War II was terrible.
You know?
Controversial statement. World War II
Yeah.
was a bad idea.
Yeah. Controversial statement. World Player Ones don't like war much. Despite us playing war games.
Well, there's a difference between, like, cutting through plastic robots in a fucking video game
Yeah.
and straight up mowing down people with a machine gun.
Yeah. Although parents would have you believe otherwise.
So at Fox News.
Yeah. On a slow news day, at least.
Yep.
When Donald Trump isn't up to antics. Oh, that wacky Trump, what's he done today?
Oh, look, it's the Weeb Arms again. The Shinmusha Gundam.
Yeah. Jigen! The Jigen was cool. I liked the Jigen.
Oh, that's a neat backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad I just unlocked the thing.
Yep. Never gonna see use out of that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not a terrible backpack.
No, and some of these actually... Whoa, what the fuck?
There's a lot going on here.
I think there's a gun in there somewhere.
I think it is a gun. It's hard to tell.
I'm not sure, dude.
It's very unclear at best.
Okay, and everything else is just hot trash.
Chaff. Yep.
Convert to GP and end.
It's a lot GP.
Well, I'm starting to get late in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least midway through.
It's unclear. Like, I'm into Chapter 4, and, like, I'll tell you this much. Chapter 3, which is what we're on, stretches a lot longer than you'd think.
Okay, and...
Hold on, wait. There's something I want to go check real quick.
Okay.
Go to the shop. I want to see if they have a Jigen, because I want to have a few seconds of mandatory Jigen appreciation.
Okay. Oh, Jigen.
Look at that slick motherfucker!
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
that's when, like, they were like, we're gonna make mass-produced mobile suits, but they're gonna look sick. That's actually a mass-produced mobile suit that stayed in use for, like, 60 years.
It's a nice-looking model.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, in fluff, it stays in use for 60 years. Like,
wow.
They build it for around the time of Char's counterattack, or a little bit after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, effectively, around the time, like, before the incident of, the Unicorn incident. And then it gets used all the way up to Gundam Crossbones.
Shit.
Yeah. Which takes place in the Universal Century 130-something?
Anyway.
Yeah. Alright, now we're gonna go and do some shit, and we'll actually see you next time, folks, because it's close enough to cut the episode.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.